What are your so when people talk about, say, the problems of the world, when you say something like this and technology and science that's being worked on, do you feel pretty optimistic about the future of the world?
I would say so, yes, because there's there's a lot of ideas for a whole lot of problems. I think the hardest problems really to tackle would be kind of the geopolitical ones, because it's not that you can build a solution. It's
Mm.
more that you have to make people agree on different things or find a compromise. And I would say this can be much harder than finding a technical solution to a problem. But for things like climate change, for example, I saw a lot of different ideas how you can mitigate the problems and how you can stop it and how you can maybe even reverse it by carbon capturing or something like this. And I saw that a lot of people are really interested in building solutions. So I would say that energy crisis and climate change are really solvable problems. The problem with these two problems is that they are time critical. So especially as you might heard about the energy crisis in Germany because of the lack of Russian natural gas. There was kind of a worry that we don't have any gas left in the winter, so that we couldn't get warm inside and run the industries. Thankfully, that this didn't happen, but that's why problems like these are time critical, and so you have a deadline, or not a real deadline as one date, but the sooner that you get your solution, the better. I'm really sure that there's a solution for the energy crisis, like, for example, nuclear fusion, but also new research in solar power or wind energy. But the question is if it's early enough that these things are able to be developed and applied at scale. And I think the same thing is true for climate change, because there's already impacts of climate change. For example, I've heard that the foreign minister of Tuvalu, I don't know if you're familiar with the country. It's a really small country, basically.
I'm not aware, I don't think.
I wasn't a few years back also. It's just a few islands, and I think less than 100,000 people. But it's really sinking. So the foreign minister of the country hold a speech about climate change, I think for the UNO or something like this, in the water, because the water level were rising and they lose so much land. I think in about 20 to 100 years, the land is gone if we're going the same way that we're going today. So it's having real impacts on the world right now, climate change, and that's why it's important to get to solutions quickly, and maybe go not to final solutions, but have some transition solutions to get to the final goal. For example, that you don't stop coal and gas power plants right now, but you need them, or nuclear fission energy as a transition energy method for the renewable energies or nuclear fusion. But I'm sure at the end it's possible to fight these problems. The question is how much damage is being done in the process, I would say.
Interesting.
That's kind of my point of view.